Hello everybody, today we're going to derive the formula for fold equity, something very useful but quite complicated. We're going to start off with a scenario which you would commonly use a fold equity calculator online or anywhere, and that is when you shove, right? So after you've shoved, just take any common scenario. Mathematically, we're going to count that shove value, which we'll call C. So you shove for C. So let's say you shove $50, then C would be $50. We're going to count that $50 as negative, as losing, as dead money, right? And you'll see why later. It just makes the math easier. Now, once we've shoved, our opponent has two options. He can either fold an F frequency amount of time, which is what we're going to find, right? We're trying to find our fold equity. Or he can call, which will just be the inverse of folding. If he folds, we'll get the pot, but we will also regain this negative C lost value. We'll regain it because, well, it's dead money, we won it. If he calls, however, well, there's two scenarios. So either we win at a probability of E, or we lose at a probability of 1 minus E. And now you'll see I scribbled this out because when we lose, the only thing we're losing is this negative C. And so because of that, we don't need to keep track of this branch anymore. We only need to keep track of this branch. And in this case, we would win, again, the pot plus our dead money plus this extra money, which our opponent called. So now we are going to put this nice big tree in an EV formula. So our EV will be this negative C, right? Because we just count this guaranteed always as dead money, plus the chance that he folds and the money we win, plus the chance that he calls and the money we win in that case. And now you see, because we put this negative C term up front, we don't need to keep track of this 1 minus F times 1 minus E times C. It makes the whole math, makes the math a lot easier. So now we will distribute this 1 minus F out. We get, this. Then we see we have two F's, and that's the term we're trying to find. We'll combine them together. P plus C, this negative P plus 2C term, they come together. And we take the other two terms and put them on the side. Now, because it's a break-even scenario, our EV is 0, and that means we can move these two terms to the other side, right? And divide by this whole P plus C minus E P plus 2C. And we get our nice formula, F equals this whole shebang. That's pretty complicated, right? Oh, and by the way, yeah, I just found it interesting that it looks a lot like, excuse me, our break-even formula, except for we have this nice, difficult, confusing factor in combined, this P plus 2C factor, which kind of, whatever, I don't know. So a nicer way of looking at this is to say X, whatever, just let, I'll put a little let X equal C over P. In that case, just keeping that in mind, if we multiply this by a fraction which is just equal to 1, then we get, well, C over P is X, right? So we get X minus E. Now P over P is just 1. C over P is X. And P over P is 1. X. And we get the same term as above. We get this guy. And this is just in terms of, oh, right, I forgot to explain. So X is equal to, is our shove compared to the pot. So if X was equal to 1/2, that just means that we're shoving for half the pot. So the pot is 100 and we shove 50. And most of the time, X is going to be an integer, well, greater than 1, because a lot of the times we're shoving over the pot. Now, that's all. This is just another way of saying F. And it's not exactly easy enough to calculate in game, but it's also not so difficult as, I don't know. to not do it yourself. That was all. Thanks for watching. See you next time.